Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Business Breakthrough with Barbara Show. I hope you guys are ready for another amazing episode today. Um, let's see, what do I have to tell you guys? Few reminders that I say every week before we go into our topic, which, by the way, today is how to end 2020 with a bang and cash in the bank. Um, okay, if you haven't done so already, first of all, if you're new to this space, if you're new to the group, if this is the first time you ever see me, hello, welcome. I am so excited that you're here, so happy that you're here. If you've been here for months and years, like so many of you have, I adore you. Thank you for being here and thank you for making this Facebook group what it is. It truly wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for amazing members like you. Hi, Stormy, welcome. If you guys are here, let me know that you're here. Drop me an emoji, say hello. I always love connecting with you guys on this show. Um, okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, if you haven't done so already, which a lot of you already did, make sure that you click on the link in this description and sign up for my new mini training. This is the last week that we're going to be actively promoting it. Thus far, the mini training is entirely free, and it's like 20 minutes long. It's the shortest, quickest, most effective thing that you can watch if you're a new coach or if you've been trying to get your coaching business off the ground for a while, but you haven't been able to. It's just amazing. I literally guide you step by step into exactly what you need to do to get booked out with clients that pay. It's literally what I teach all of my private clients compressed into a mini training. So click on that link after the live stream so you stick with us and join it. Okay. What else? Oh, I wanted to let you guys know that next week I have an amazing surprise. It is my Conscious Black Friday sale. So keep your eyes out, like peeled, because I know some of you are going to be very, very excited about what I'm going to offer. And there's not that much availability, so definitely keep an eye out. Last thing before we dive in is, if you don't know this, if this is the first time that you watch this show, um, you must know that every week we pick a weekly winner for our one-on-one coaching giveaway. So what happens is every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern, I hop on live. I do a whole show on specific strategies and confidence building things and everything that you need to know to help you grow your business. Okay. So you come into the show, you learn, you jive with me, you have fun, and then you go take action. Now, what happens is if you're here live or if you watch the replay and you tell me that you're here, you drop me an emoji, you tell me that you want to be entered for the raffle, whatever it is, you just gotta let me know that you're in the show, whether it's watching it live or watching the replay. You get entered for a week giveaway. And what that means is my assistant and I, at the end of the week, we go through all of the comments and we just randomly put all your names into a little piece of paper. We raffle them and we pick one winner for you to have a full-on one-on-one business coaching session with me. So what that means is you and I sit together for 45 minutes and we dive into absolutely everything that you need in your business. Well, not everything because it's just one session, but what you need in your business right now to go to the next level, to get your next client, to achieve whatever goal you're trying to achieve, right? So we dive all things business and confidence, which is amazing because I've been doing this for 6 years and I've helped dozens and dozens of clients go from underpaid coach into money-making CEO. So I kind of know what I'm doing. If you've been struggling to get your business off the ground, if you're a little overwhelmed because you just don't know what to do, enter the raffle. You can enter as many times as you want. You can enter if you've been my client. You can enter if you won before. You literally can enter anytime. Thus far, we do this every week, but as I get busier throughout the year, I may stop it for a while. So definitely take advantage because you don't know when the last time that we do the raffle will be for 2020. Okay. With that said, are you guys ready? If you're ready, let me know. Tell me that you're ready. Be like, yes, can you just stop talking and tell me what you're going to tell me today? Hi, Talina. Welcome. Welcome, everyone that's here. Okay, so I have one, two, three. Oh, one more thing. God, squirrel brain. Last week's winner for the giveaway is Felicia Rose. So Felicia, congratulations on winning a free one-on-one coaching session with me valued at $497. If you are here, please message me so that my team can get you set up with that free session. So congratulations, and I cannot wait to support you. Okay, I almost forgot that. Now we can dive in. Okay, ready? Okay, cool. I'm ready too. I have 5 things for you guys today on how to end 2020 with a bang and cash in the bank. Okay. The first and the last things that I'm going to say are extremely important. Okay. Everything is, but the first and last thing is just like something that you need to really, really embody if you want that to happen for you and that to happen for your business. Okay. So, first thing that we need to do, if you are feeling perhaps stressed or overwhelmed or maybe a little defeated because there's only 2 months left of the year, right? Like maybe it was January and you had like this big vision of how your coaching business was going to go, and it's not there, right? And now it's the last 2 months of the year and you're like, how do you think I'm going to end the year with a bang if it hasn't been the best year for me? Or perhaps you've had a great year, but you usually have like this idea of like it's the end of the year, it's like a slower season or whatever. It doesn't matter where you're at. Point is, we have 2 months, and if you're feeling anything but excited and full of possibility, here's what I want you to know, and here's what I need you to know. If you really want to leverage the next 2 months and make as much money as you possibly can, you need to stop thinking that people don't buy over the holidays. And we need to stop making that assumption, because that is how the next 2 months are going to go by and we're not going to do anything, right? That's how the next 2 months are going to go by, and we're going to have this mindset of like, well, it's the end of the year, it's too late, everyone's busy, nobody buys, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is change that assumption that people are not buying one-on-one coaching, change the assumption that people are not hiring coaches, change the assumption that it's too late, the year already passed, just wait until January. No, right? Because then that becomes a really bad habit of like, well, it's January, no one's buying because it's January. Well, it's March, everyone's on spring break, so no one buys on spring break. Oh, well, it's the summer, so everyone's on summer vacation, so no one's gonna buy. Oh, well, it's Halloween, so no one's buying in Halloween, right? Like that can literally become an endless cycle of like feeling that there's a certain period where people don't buy, and it also becomes an excuse to not show up to do the uncomfortable thing and sell and make money in your business, right? Does this make sense? Have you ever felt like this? I definitely can think a few years back where I used to feel like this. And then I just kept proving myself wrong over and over again because I kept making sales during November and December. I kept booking one-on-one clients in November and December. And then eventually I solidified the belief, but nobody told me ahead of time that that's not true, right? Like it's not something that I learned before I experienced it. And for you, I want you to learn it before you experience it. And I want you to know that people do buy, not do buy, you know what I mean, in November and December. Okay. The feeling that they don't, that's just an assumption. Yeah? Okay. Love the hearts. And to add to that, people are actually more open and comfortable with buying during these times, right? Like they're already doing a lot of Christmas shopping or whatever, holiday dinners, traveling. Like people are just like even more open to it. So you can look at the glass whichever side you want to look at it, right? Like you can look at it as like, oh, well, nobody buys, it's the holidays, everyone's busy. Coaching, it's like not a thing over the next 2 months. Or you can look at it as like, well, everyone's buying, everyone's just really comfortable opening up their wallets and getting the things that they want. And therefore, it's the perfect time for individuals to invest in themselves and get ready to end and start the year on an amazing note. Okay. It's really hard for me to like drill this belief into you through one live stream. But I promise you, I mean, I work with 5 to 8 clients at a time. I've been working with clients for 6 years. I not only do I see it in my business, I see it in my clients' business and my colleagues' business. People buy over the next 2 months. We just have to be very strategic, and we have to be very action oriented, and we have to just keep pushing and showing up, not believing that it's not going to work, right? Okay, so that's step one to end the year with a bang. Step number 2 is don't feel like you're selling too much, okay? Don't feel like you are bothering people. Don't feel like you're posting too much. Don't feel like you've told the same person, you've followed up with the same person 5 times and it's annoying them. That's another assumption that we need to get rid of. And let me explain to you why. This is always important in business, to get comfortable with selling and get comfortable with selling often. It's always, always important. It's like something that you probably, if you've been here before, you probably have heard me talk about this a lot. And if it's the first time that you're here, you probably will hear me talk about it a lot. If you're here and you've heard me talk about this, drop me an emoji and be like, yes, I've heard her talk about this, because it's so important to really get comfortable with the idea of like, you're not selling too much. You're never selling too much. I gave this example a few weeks ago where it's like, does your favorite store, do you think that they think to themselves like, we already sold yesterday, so I don't think we should sell tomorrow? Or, you know what, we ran that promotion last week, I don't think we should run a promotion next week. Like, they're not saying that. Oh, like, the best example I can give you is Old Navy. I'm signed up to their email list. I don't know why, because they literally clutter my inbox like crazy. But I'm not exaggerating. I think that store emails me every day, or at least 2 times a day. They are not afraid of selling, and neither should you. You are a business. Even though you're selling yourself and even though you're coaching, that is a business, right? You deserve and must sell at all times if you want to make more money. So this idea plays really well over the next 2 months, where it's like, if you want to end 2020 over the next 2 months making more money than you have to sell a lot. This is even more true over the next 2 months. This is like at least 3 times more true, because while people do buy, I feel like I'm saying Dubai all the time. Like now I feel like I'm going to vacation to Dubai. Like I can't stop. Like people, how can I say it differently? Well, people still buy, okay, okay, over November and December, the truth is that they are probably a little bit more busy over the next 2 months. So this is why selling a lot and selling often is even more important over the next 2 months, because if you're selling something on average 30 times per month, let's say you sell something every day, okay, you probably will need to do more of that. You probably will need to do 2 or 3 times what you do. And that's just because we're busy. We are getting food. We have family over. It's Christmas. Things are coming. It's not that we're not willing or open to buying. It's just that we're busy and we need more input of what we want to buy from, right? And on top of that, every business is selling like crazy over November and December. So while competition is nothing to be like afraid of, like, oh my God, there's so much competition, it's something to be aware of, right? Like there are other coaches selling, there are other business selling. Everyone is getting bombarded with messages. That is not necessarily a bad thing. That is just something to be aware of. So, selling more is actually good. There is nothing bad. You're not bothering people. They're already getting bombarded with hundreds and thousands of marketing messages on a day-to-day basis in November and December, more than in any month, right? So you might as well be one of those messages for them. I always say this about coaching, like, you're doing a disservice by not overselling yourself. Think about it. There is someone in this world who is going to go and buy a very expensive purse for Christmas, right? But what if that person needed your help? What if that person really needed help in their relationship, or they really needed help with their health, or they really needed help with their career, or building the business of their dreams, like whatever type of coaching you do. And they went and they bought that purse because you played small and you didn't sell enough over the holidays. That is such a disservice to that person who could have invested in something that will bring them long-term sustainability, long-term fulfillment, long-term growth, right? Versus like a purse who they're going to be excited about for like maximum a few months, and then it just becomes another thing in their closet. Does that make sense? Is this resonating? Are you like, yes, totally love this? Or are you like, oh no, this feels really uncomfortable? Like, where are you at? Give me a little insight as to where you guys are at. Okay, so next thing, focus, focus, focus. Or you have 2 months. That is so much time, like so much time. 60 days, I don't even know how many hours, but a lot of hours. However, simultaneously, it is only 2 months. What that means is you can't be trying to do everything and going from like one thing to the other, right? Like you can't go from like, I'm going to sell this ponytail to like, I'm going to sell this headphones to I'm going to sell this phone to I'm going to sell this to I'm going to do that to I'm going to sell this glass glass cleaner cloth, whatever, to like a diva light. Like it's just, you can't. There's only 2 months. It's ample time for you to make amazing things happen. But simultaneously, it's only 2 months, right? So this is your time, and this is really hard if you're a new coach or if you struggle with what do you call it? Bright shiny object syndrome, where you like to go from one idea to the other. It's hard. It's not the easiest thing to do. But this is your time to focus. This is your time to sit down and be like, okay, I have 2 months. What are we doing? What is the plan? What are we selling from one to one? How are we positioning it? And then just stick to it and just focus on your goals. If you're like, I'm going to sell 100 ponytails over the next 2 months, just focus on that. Don't get sidetracked, put blinders on, literally focus on that and go all in. Yeah? This is great stuff. Definitely need to hear this. Okay. Oh, I love this. Dubai. Yeah, I can't stop thinking about it now. Hi, Jasenia. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So we got two more. This kind of goes along with focus, but it's like create space in your calendar on your day to day. Okay. Like I'm asking you guys to sell more than what you're used to. I'm asking you guys to focus. And the best way to do this is to actually create the space in your calendar to do that. Okay. Just like your consumers and your potential clients are busier over the holidays, so are you. And so am I. And so is everyone here, right? So my favorite calendar is Google Calendars. If you don't have one, I highly recommend it. It's free. I don't get any affiliation or anything from them. I just love it. I literally get, I would say 80% of my clients on a Google Calendar, and it changes their life forever. But you need to know, when are you doing all of these things, right? Like, when are you promoting something? When are you going out and selling? When are you writing your content? When are you focusing on your business, right? Like this, everything I'm telling you, this should go any month of the year, right? Like you can do this any month of the year, and I want you to do this any month of the year, but especially over the next 2 months. Like you have to get very strategic, very focused, very organized, right? So that you can see a return of investment for the work that you're putting in. Okay. That's what I use. Oh, good. Perfect. Love Google Calendar. I'm like color code freak. I literally, no white space for me. Everything is filled in. I'm not saying my day is always perfect the way that it looks in my calendar, but it really does help me get a lot done. Okay. And we have made it to the last little tidbit that I'm going to teach you guys today, and I'm going to share with you, which is kind of like the first one, where it's like we need to change that mindset that nobody buys over the holidays. We also need to change the mindset and really get into the idea that your past results do not determine what is possible for you over the next 2 months. So there's going to be two kinds of individuals here, and totally fine wherever you're at. But there's going to be people who are like, okay, 2020 went by. Let's just, let's just finish it up and I'll get started in January. Totally fine. No judgment here. If that's your decision, that's your decision, and I totally respect it. But there's also the other option of like 2020 went by, whether it was good or bad, whether I had a good month or last month, that doesn't determine what's possible for me over the next 2 months. If I've been trying for the past 6 months to sell something and I haven't been able to, that doesn't mean that I won't next month or the one after, right? If I've been working really, really, really hard and I haven't gotten more than 2 clients per month, that doesn't mean that next month is not the month that you're going to get booked out, right? We need to really like cleanse that charge that we may potentially bring over the next 2 months and just cleanse it out. Just be like, okay, cool. What happened over this past 10 months? Awesome. It's there. It happens. I'm grateful for the experience. I'm grateful for the journey. I'm grateful for the growth, right? I don't want to take anything away from it, but what I am not doing is I am not bringing whatever beliefs or whatever thoughts my past experiences may have caused me into what's possible for me over the next 2 months. The next 2 months, and I do this every month actually. It's a blank slate. The reality is a lot of coaches won't tell you this, but it's business, right? Like business goes up and down. I have months that are outstanding, and then I have months that are not as well as the one before, right? Like thankfully it's always relatively a good month nowadays. But the truth is business goes up and down. So if I stayed stuck into like, oh my God, October wasn't as good as it typically is, and that just means that I'm over. Business is over. Next month is not going to be good. If you stay stuck on that, then of course next month is not going to be good. Of course the rest of 2020 is going to be hard for you. Of course, making more money in your business is going to be difficult or draining, right? Whatever happened last month, whatever happened the past 10 months, whether good or bad, just it doesn't really determine anything about what's possible for you. So tabula rasa, clean slate, literally. Have you guys heard that term in psychology? I think it's tabula rasa, and it means that it's a theory that we are all born with a clean slate. Clean slate, nothing, and we are just kind of like a machine, and we learn like functions and things like that. Well, I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I want it to be true for you over the next 2 months. It's the beginning of November. Moving forward, there are literally endless possibilities for you. And a lot of your success and a lot of the money that you're going to make and a lot of the clients that you're going to book or not book really boil down to what you believe is possible for you. Okay? It's hard. This is the hard part of having a business. Okay? This is like a transparent moment for me. Like the little things that I'm telling you about believing certain things and thinking certain things, like that is the hard piece, right? The other stuff is easy. I sit here every Monday at 10 a.m. and I tell you exactly what you need to do to get clients. I tell you exactly what I do to get clients. I tell you exactly what I teach my clients to get clients, right? The strategy is easy. It's simple, right? Like write content, post, do follow-ups, do live streams, grow your community, start a Facebook group, right? Like the strategy is somewhat easy. It's truly our mindset and our confidence that makes it hard. And this is why sometimes it's hard to do things on your own. This is why I literally make a living out of coaching. It's because if it was so easy to stay in the mindset that it's possible, then everyone would do it. So if you struggle with like being positive, or if you struggle with making things happen, or if you struggle with your confidence or your mindset, or if you feel like you take three steps forward and one step backwards, right? And four steps back, it's normal, right? Like you are a human being. I literally think every single one of my clients, myself, my friends, everyone that I know that has a business struggles with this. It doesn't matter how long you've been in business. It doesn't matter how much you've achieved. It doesn't matter if you're new or if you've been doing this for 10 years. It doesn't matter, right? Like the mindset piece is always the hard part, right? And it's just the way it is. Even if you achieve something that proves you wrong, your mind is still naturally going to doubt. Your mind's still naturally going to go into, hey, but what if this fails? Hey, what if it doesn't work? Hey, but look at what you did over the past 10 months. How can you do more over the next two? Right? Like your mind is always, always playing games with you. And that's the hard part. The hard part is being like consistently there mentally enough to show up for the strategy. All of you have, if you sing any of the episodes, you have a few strategic steps to take. The hard part is actually taking them. And the reason why I added the first tip and the last one around changing the way that you think about things, it's because that's really what's going to make it or break it. That's the thing. If I tell you, okay, post 3 times as much, don't be afraid to sell. Focus on selling one or two things, or three or four, whatever. Just focus on whatever you decide to do. That's pretty simple. That is really, really simple. Now, not getting into like, oh, well, nobody buys. Oh, what if nobody likes me? Oh, but I didn't book a client last month. Or like, oh, but the last quarter was really hard. Or like, oh my God, the pandemic. Like, what if the coaching industry is dissipating into space? Like, that's the hard part. The hard part is like really taking control of those thoughts that keep you from actually taking action consistently. Because what happens is if you start taking action and then you stop, you may be like this close. Like you literally maybe you have no idea how many times I've seen people be this close and almost quit. I mean, I'm a business coach. I see this all the time, like this close and be right here, like about to get the thing, and they're about to quit, or they're about to change their strategy, or they're about to try to do something new, or they're about to go into another industry, or they're about to do MLM, like whatever, right? And my job is to hold them to continue going when it gets really hard and really tough. Okay. And that's how you fill that gap. That's how you get there. Okay. So if you have struggled in 2020, or if business has felt a little hard, or if you haven't achieved what you want to achieve, it has absolutely nothing to do with what's possible for you over the next 2 months. How does that feel to you guys? Does it feel really hard? Does it feel really exciting? Does it like open up a new way of seeing things? Like, let me know in the comments. If it's something that inspires you, if it's something that makes you feel uncomfortable, because it's like the truest thought that I can let you borrow right now. The truest thought that I think is the next 2 months have nothing to do with anything that has ever happened. And the next 2 months, a ton of people are buying, and it's my job to help them see the thing that's going to change their life. Those are the best two beliefs that you can borrow from me right now. All right, let's look at some comments. Okay, that's what I use. That's Google Calendar. Beautiful. Everyone should. Every month is a new beginning. Yes. Literally, like every day is a new beginning. If you had a really bad day yesterday, that doesn't mean that today's not going to be good. If you had a really bad week last week, that doesn't mean that this week you're not going to book like the best, amazing soulmate client that you can ever book, right? It's so hard, and I promise you guys, I'm talking about this like it's like easy work. Like, just forget about what happened yesterday. It has nothing to do with today. Like, this is hard stuff, but you can do hard things. I know for a fact that you can do hard things. Most of you have done harder things. Most of you have had kids. Most of you have had people that you love pass away. Most of you have done harder things than this. So I know for a fact that you can do hard things. I know for a fact that you can do it. Okay, our beliefs create our reality, 100%. I think some people don't understand this. They're like, okay, yeah, our thoughts create our reality, our beliefs create our reality, but how? I just want to explain that really quickly. Because I think it's important, because I'm talking all about like you need to think this and you need to think that. But here's how that works. If you believe that the next 2 months your business won't make any money, how do you feel when you think that and you believe that? You feel defeated, you feel anxious, you feel stressed, you feel overwhelmed, you feel sad, right? How do you typically act when you feel that? I know for a fact that when you feel all of those things, you're not out there being like, oh, this is awesome. Let me write some content. Oh, I'm so excited. Let me reach out to that person. Oh, let me promote some calls. Oh, let me hop on a live stream. You're not doing that. And if you are, you're definitely not doing it as much as you can. And you're definitely not showing up to it like the best that you possibly can, right? So your actions are driven by your emotions and your thoughts. And if your beliefs are not in line, those actions create your results, right? So, like, if you're constantly thinking, like, over the next 2 months, I'm not going to make any money, over the next 2 months, it's not going to work, it hasn't really worked. So, what makes me think that over the next 2 months it will work? Then you're going to start feeling defeated. When you feel defeated, you don't show up for your business. And when you don't show up for your business, you don't create results over the next 2 months. Does that make sense? So, now let's flip that around and be like, I truly deeply believe that the next 2 months I'm going to rock it and I'm going to kill it and I'm going to get my next client and my business is going to boom and skyrocket and I'm going to have cash in the bank. And I'm willing to show up for it as much as I possibly can, detach from the outcome because I'm just here to do the work. That was really loaded, but that makes you feel inspired. That makes you feel excited. That makes you feel confident, right? Like that makes you feel uh, just good, period. And when you feel that, what do? You do that live stream, you start your group, you hire that coach, you take action, you follow up, you grow your list, you sign up for that summit, you apply for that podcast, right? And when you do those things, what do you think happens? You build momentum, your community growth, you start booking calls, you start converting some calls, right? Like that's how like people always say like, oh, well, your thoughts, your confidence, your mindset, your beliefs, all of that creates your reality. It's not like anything woo. It's just like your actions will determine your results. And if you're not in the right state of mind, you're not going to take the right actions. I hope that makes sense. I may do like a whole live stream here, but it's honestly very basic, like psychology stuff. It's like CBT. And I'm not a therapist or anything, but that's what I do with my therapist when I was going. That's something that Nick and I talk about all the time. That's literally like the way that human behavior happens. Yeah? Okay. Preach. Yeah, feels relieving. Okay, good, good. I'm glad it does. That's like, that was my whole purpose. I didn't want to like throw everything at you and be like, oh my God, now I'm overwhelmed. I want you guys to feel relieved. That's always my um, goal. Always start out with a goal. Yes, agreed. I tell myself every day I'm a vessel for receiving financial abundance. I am worthy of receiving my dream ideal clients with this. Changing my mindset. Okay, I love that. And I love that you share that because, one, if that feels good to you and you tell yourself that every day and you're like, yes, this feels good. I feel excited. I'm just like so driven to keep taking action with this mindset work that I'm doing. Amazing. Keep it. Keep it. But if some of you read that and you're like, I can't step into that. I just cannot believe that. I can't. I totally get that. You're not supposed to go from 0 to 100, right? You're not supposed to go from like, oh my God, I struggle all day, every day with business to like, I am a business maven. I am the best coach in the industry and everyone wants to hire me, right? Like that's really hard to stand behind. So you can also take a middle step, right? Like you can take stepping stones to shifting the way that you think. So instead of like, you could say something like, even though, I love saying even though, okay? even though I have struggled in the past and it has been really hard for me, right? I I know for a fact that I can trust myself to keep showing up until I get the result that I want. So it doesn't have to look exactly like that for you, but I'm just saying, like, you can go from like feeling like super unconfident in your capacity to achieve to like, I am a money magnet type of thing. That works for some people. If that hasn't worked for you in the past, you may need a stepping stone, right? And that sounds so believable, right? Like, even though I've messed up in the past and even though I haven't gotten what I wanted, I can trust myself that I will continue to show up until I get what I want, right? That's so much better than like, oh my God, over the next 2 months, I just, nothing is going to happen. Yeah? Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm hopping off now. But let me know if you're watching the live version. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know if you have additional questions. Let me know if you have additional support. And if you're watching the replay, let me know as well. Excuse me. Drop me an emoji. Tell me that you're here. Tell me raffle, whatever you want. If you want to be entered for the one-on-one coaching session. That's it. Have an amazing day, guys. Thank you.